gonna first introduce myself. At the moment, doing research on how foreign guests, what their life is like, and about their challenges. Could you please introduce yourself, your work, and how long have you been here?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in Nanjing for the past, I think, 11 years. And I work for the Nanjing Stuttgart exhibition company. So we organize exhibitions. So that means we different industries, and we support businesses to do business here, basically. A lot of them actually are foreign companies, mainly from Germany, but not also from Europe and other places from Europe, to come to China to do business. And we support them with that.
Is it takes more time to work in Nanjing compared with maybe your formal work in Germany?
No, I think in every work that I've been working at, it doesn't really matter what the official timing is. What's important is to get the job done. And sometimes you need to work overtime, especially when you're organizing events or exhibitions. Often you have last minute things and you have to work overtime, and other times you can relax a bit more, you can take a bit of a break, recharge batteries, but it depends. It's not more or less than before.
Have you visited some tourist spots during your free time?
Yeah, one of my favorite tourist spots is actually the Zhenghe Open Air Museum, which is where the big treasure ships were built. They were built in Nanjing, and they were very significant. You still have the three lakes. Now they're very large lakes, around 200 meters long, filled with water, which is where they built the ships, filled it in with water, and then the ships were able to go back into the seas and go to Europe, all the way to Europe.
Yeah.
Not the big ones, but maybe some of the smaller ones were able to. So that's very cool. I really like that. It's got this really cool bronze bell, and it explains all of Zhenghe's travels in Ming Dynasty, and I find that a very, very cool part of Chinese history. And I think Nanjing should promote it much more, because it's a lot to do also with One Belt, One Road, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it's then that it started, but somehow I don't hear enough being spoken of Zhenghe and of his travels, which were also a lot to do with technology. Those ships, the world had never seen such ships. They were massive, and sailing techniques and everything. I think a lot more could be spoken about that place. I think it's very significant and important.
So you prefer the historic spot than the nature beauty?
I like both. I like natural beauty as well, so I often go up to the Shan. So I used to climb up it very, very many times. It's good exercise, and it's a nice view, and it's good a bit to be in the nature. So I also like that. But the good thing about this Zhenghe Open Air Museum is that it also has nature. It's become a park, so it's full of trees also. So it's a park and it's historic.
So would you like to choose a few words to describe Nanjing?
Well, I think Nanjing is a historic city. It's relatively calm, but it's very cultivated. I think you can tell the ancient history. I think it's a cultivated, historic city. It's also a good place for business, but you have to choose the right kind of businesses that suit Nanjing. And it's very convenient because it's very centrally located, from Shanghai, Beijing, and so on the whole, I think it's a place where you can have a good quality life. It's a bit calm, and it could be a bit more international, that's true.
Do you living here alone or with your family?
I live alone here. Yeah.
Do your family support you for traveling so far?
Yeah, they support. Sure.
So have you felt the homesickness?
No, not really. No, what I'm doing. I'm not really where I am. I try to make the most of where I am, and try not to miss other things. You have to see what there is, not what is missing.
So would you prefer to join in local groups, or would you like to maybe form, or you join a group made up of foreign people?
A bit of both. So I like to be with foreign people, back my own culture, but then I also like to have local friends. I don't speak a word of Chinese, of English, and just be with them and have both experiences. I think that's the most enriching.
I think there are less foreign people now, as due to the pandemic or something. And since Nanjing is not that international compared with maybe Shanghai or Beijing, how do you meet those foreign people?
You meet informally, you meet at events, you meet one foreign people introduces you to the other one, but I would say I mainly meet foreign people in events.
Can you tell us maybe some differences of Nanjing compared with your hometown?
Differences? Well, I mean, okay, my hometown is back in Europe. I grew up in Brussels, even though I'm Spanish, but Nanjing is 32 times more people. No, maybe not, but 16 times more people, I think, or 7 times more people. It's way larger. It's way larger, number one, but that's normal for any city in Europe and China. Those are the normal differences. And that has a huge impact. Brussels, you can basically walk to anywhere normally. I mean, not quite, but most places, if you live in downtown, you can get anywhere within half an hour walking if you want. Not everywhere, but okay, so that's one thing, the number of people. Secondly, well, it's different countries, different culture, of course, different things. I mean, Chinese food is not so good there, but okay. Yeah, so the obvious differences.
It's often said that people here in China or in Nanjing, they live a really fast life. Meaning they're rushing to everywhere, they're rushing to work, rushing to home. Do you think that you can keep your own lifestyle, your own pace in this environment?
Well, I think Nanjing is quite okay. It's much slower than other cities. I think that's one of the particularities of Nanjing. In Shanghai, people are going at top speed everywhere. In Beijing as well, and Guangzhou, Shenzhen, don't even need to speak about it. Nanjing, I think in that sense, is much slower.
What do you think about your colleagues? I mean, basically Chinese. Do you think they're friendly? And maybe if you can say something to them, can you give them some advice so that they could help foreign people like you who had come here for the first time to help them get into this country, get into this culture better?
Yeah, well, I think to speak about my own colleagues is a little bit difficult. Of course, I think they're friendly. I'm not going to say the opposite. That's clear. I'm in no position to give anyone any advice. People have to know what they have to do. In general, I think foreigners are human beings like anyone else, and just try to consider that they're human and try to help them out not because they're foreigner, but just because they are people like everyone else. So treat the foreigner like you would treat your own colleagues and treat each other well.
Oh, that's great. That's a great attitude.
Yeah.
If you're faced with problems, basically that are unique in China, so you haven't met them before, like in your hometown, who would you turn to for help?
Well, first of all, I think I would turn to my colleagues precisely to ask them for advice. Turn to some Chinese friends and asking them to explain, to give some advice on the situation. Often the problems are because you first have to identify what is a problem. Often you don't even know what the problem is, so you first have to find out what is a problem. So you need to understand why things are the way they are, and then based on that you have a chance to find the solution.
Are you planning to return to your home after you retire, or do you find this is a perfect place for you to enjoy your life, for you to stay for a very long time?
Well, I've already stayed here for a long time now. I'm quite a large amount of time already in Europe. So, look, I think the world is very big. Wherever you go, you have to try to contribute as much as possible to wherever you are. Try also to gain as much as possible from wherever you are, and just, but not necessarily always stay in one place. So, yeah, we will see what the future will bring.
Since you have traveled to so many places, could you please share us how do you get to know the local culture? So try to fit in to make yourself convenient in such a place when you first arrive.
Well, you have to listen first of all. You have to listen how people are, how things are, and that's the first thing. You are coming to somewhere new. You have to adapt yourself. You have to respect the local cultures that is different if you want to be there. And through that, generally, people notice that, and local people see that you are trying to understand, you're trying to, that you accept how things are locally, and that you're trying to adapt, and you're trying to fit in, you're trying to contribute. And with this, normally you will attract local people who appreciate this and who will therefore become your friends and want to help you and just and you will little by little integrate. That's my experience. Listening first.
Last Saturday, I met with a group of foreign students. They're basically from Pakistan. Like they form a group to travel this city on foot. Do you think like this would help them to better understand this city?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, that's part of it. I mean, yeah, it's a tourist spot, but the cities are people that make the cities. So you have to meet the people. You have to try to, buildings, if they are tall or high or low, it's people that make them. So it's of course important to meet the city spots. They're a reflection of the people that made it, but it's just a way to understand better the people.
I am going to study in America maybe next year. So have you traveled to America?
Yeah.
What do you think? Can you please give me some tips that may help?
Well, going in the direction that you're going with the Pakistani students here, I mean, I'm not anyone to tell them to do anything. They have to decide themselves. But as you were saying, it's much more advisable to try to not stick with somebody of your own. Get out of your comfort zone. Not hang around. This happens to, it's known, a lot of Chinese students do this abroad. They all stay in their Chinese groups and then that's it. It's like little China outside. There's no point really, or not so much point. You lose out on a lot. Of course it takes effort. It takes, you have to make yourself vulnerable. You have to be brave to dare to go out and show your vulnerabilities. Maybe your English is not perfect. Maybe you're afraid people will laugh at you or won't accept you. And maybe in some cases it's like that because not everybody's nice. But if you don't try, and I think that's the ideal thing, to try to find students, be with students that are not of your same nationality, to understand better, to get more enriching experience. It doesn't always have to be the local students. Often they already have their friends and maybe they're not so open. But you have a lot of other country students. Going to the States, there's Chinese students that go there, but a lot of Indian students also go, a lot of maybe Pakistani students go, and a lot of European students. And maybe they don't, they also don't know people, so it's an opportunity of meeting all of them one by one.
Do you think this experience of getting to know different cultures will help in your foreign career?
Absolutely. I mean, that's absolutely learning new cultures and. For you, I think that would be a very good thing.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Sure, you're welcome.